Hello YouTube, my name is Mackpie, ASMR, and I am here today to give you some tingles. Thank you for joining me. Today I am going to be focusing on slower and more deliberate triggers, and I have been enjoying a lot of this lo-fi type of ASMR, so I wanted to gift some of that to you all today. Inside this paper wicker basket I have a cloth lining, and then I have many delicious tingly items to give you some tingles. First, I'm going to start with my foil star stickers. They come in a laminate package with a paper label. I actually bought these last year because this year on my calendar, every time I have a day where I feel good about my day and like I lived life the way I want to be living life, I will stick a sticker right onto that day. So then at the end of each month, I take a look at the calendar and I can see all the star stickers, and I can kind of gauge if I feel like I'm doing what I want to be doing. It's something that I think really helps with motivation. I know that some people might think it's a bit silly, but it's something that helps me. Anyway, let's open this up. So here we have one sticker sheet, and we are going to look at this very closely and examine the sticker sheet. First, we're going to listen to tapping on the foil side. And now we're going to listen to tapping on the paper side. Back to the foil. It seems to me that the major difference between these two sides is that the paper side is softer and the foil side is a little bit sticky. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns stars, and the colors that they come in are red, blue, silver, green, and of course gold. It wouldn't be star stickers if there wasn't a gold option. Now I would like to look at the dimensions and size of this sheet of stickers. I have my trusty tiny little tape measure. From the packaging, I know that each individual star is 0.5 inches in diameter. I would assume they're measuring from the widest part of the stars. But I would also like to look at the sheet itself. This direction, which I would say is the width, is exactly 3 inches. And the height is almost 4.5 inches. And the depth, no, I'm just kidding. So that means we have 3 inches by 4.5 inches. As for the number of stickers that we have on the sheet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of each color. And because we have 5 colors, that means we have 55 stickers per sheet. I do not know exactly how many sheets that I have left because I've been using these on my calendar. But I have many sheets. So let's figure that out. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5 sheets. 5 sheets of 55 stickers means that we have 275 stickers here, I believe. The box says 440 count, so I must have already gone through quite a few. So that is the star stickers, and now we are going to move on to the next item from my basket. This is a small zipper pouch. This is actually something that I sewed in a sewing class at my university because I wanted to work with vinyl on the sewing machine. I'm not very good at sewing, but I think it came out cute. And I sometimes use it to store things like change, dollars. I'm going to zip it, unzip it, but I'm going to do it far from the camera because it's loud. This is inside of the zipper pouch. It's a very thin vinyl material. There are two zipper tabs, loops, on either side of the zipper, which make it easier to pull the zipper. It is constructed out of 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to remember. If I remember correctly, it is constructed out of 4 panels and 2 smaller strips for the loop tabs with white stitching along the seams. It is a nylon zipper. The brand is C&C. I'm going to puff it out a little bit. And rezip it. That is our small clear pouch. It makes quite nice sounds when you very gently squish it. I will run a fingernail along the zipper. I think that sounds quite nice. Our next item is going to be this jewelry box. I don't remember what kind of jewelry came in the box. I found it in a storage box in my house, and it is empty. But I thought the material made such nice sounds that I wanted to include it in an ASMR video. Roy Rose jewelry. It is made of a red fake leather kind of material, but it's also a little papery, so it's an interesting material. I'm not sure what exactly it is. It's not very sticky. When I press hard, it kind of is. Sounds hollow. And has a bit of a zippy sound when you run a finger along it, because there is a texture to the box. The letters themselves are embossed in the box, so they dip into the material and they are gold. The side closure is diagonal on each side. And when we open it up again, there is a black foam square that looks very velvety, and it feels velvety. It is white on the bottom. I'm going to place that back in its home. I'd like to listen to the difference in sound between it being open and closed. Open. Wow, that changes so much. I wasn't expecting it to change that much, actually. I'm going to get my trusty little tiny measuring tape again, and I'm going to measure this box. It is 3.75 inches tall by 3.75 inches wide. Now we will check the depth. It is almost 1.75 inches tall. So it is indeed a perfect square and not just close to it. So this has been the Roy Rose jewelry box. I always like to squish items. I think it sounds nice. But now I will put this back in its home. Lastly, I'm going to pull out of the basket our final item, which is a very small tin box with vintage sheep designs on it, as well as a few pigs along the bottom. This is a sliding tin box. It was created by Firefly Notes friend who lives there. It looks as though there was a paper designed and they hand poured the resin over the top of the paper for this lid. I'm having to be very careful with it because right now I have my knitting stitch markers inside and I don't want them to jingle too loudly for you all. The lid slides off and I have stitch markers inside. I have 2 plastic ones. And these are cheaper, but they are built to be removed at any point from the project, which I find very useful. And I also have metal loop stitch markers. These are in the design of honeycombs. I also had a sewing needle in there, which I have moved out. But I have 4 honeycomb stitch markers, and these are solid loops, so they cannot be pulled off of the project until you hit that stitch again. And then I have 1 more closed loop stitch marker, which is a little dinosaur. So I'm just going to take the box without the stitch markers in it and close it. And I want to hear how the tapping sounds. We have the resin front, a little bit sticky, and we have the metal sides. I don't know exactly what kind of metal this is, but it's very lightweight. Lastly, but not leastly, we have the bottom side of it, which has the information about the company and a paper sticker, which I really like the sound of. Makes an interesting sound when you stroke it. I'm going to grab my trusty little tape measure, and we're going to measure our tin. It is just about 2 1/3 inches tall. It is about 1 1/3 inches wide, and it is 1/4 inch. Oh, oops. And it is 1/2 inch tall. Thank you, tape measure. So now I'm going to reopen the sliding lid and replace the stitch markers. And then I have the sewing needle, which I'm not sure. Oh, it's a knitting needle actually. It's a specifically one used to sew in the loose yarn at the end of a project, or to join yarn in the middle of a project when you are transitioning between different sections of the project. Now that that is all closed up and the stitch markers are back in the home, I'm going to return these back to my basket of tingles. So that has been all of my triggers for this video today, and I hope that if you are watching this at night, you're feeling calm and sleepy, and that maybe you have dozed off to sleep. And if you're watching this during the daytime, sometimes I watch ASMR while I'm doing homework or while I'm playing video games. Whatever you're doing, I hope that it has served its purpose in calming you and given some relaxing, lovely, tingly feelings to you. Thank you for joining me. I really